my life, because when I'm at work, there is a natural sense of discipline that comes in. But being at home, it's been way more difficult to be disciplined than, and my house is, we're all foodies. So it's been quite tricky to do it at home.
Okay. And I wanted to ask you, Tamanna, a lot of people see this lockdown as negative, and yeah, for the right reasons. You know, jobs are getting cut. You know, there's the issue of migrant workers. There's uncertainty. But at the same time, whenever there's negativity, there's always some positivity in life. There can never just be dark. There's dark and light together.
Yeah.
So what are 2 or 3 things that you think has really come out for you from this lockdown? Something that's really impacted you in a really positive way, in a differentiating way. What's come out from you when you look at this lockdown and you weigh the pros and cons? What is it that's impacted you in a positive manner from the lockdown that's currently happening?
So for me, what's been a large part of my life is pace. I've always craved for pace. Like, I always want everything to happen really fast. I myself would be running around all the time. If I could summarize all of this and say, it's only during the lockdown have I learned how to chew my food slowly. Because all my life, I think I've just like chomped my food and swallowed it. I've never been able to pace myself. So it's only during this period where time seemed like it doesn't matter how much time you take to complete something. So I've been able to actually do things with a lot more awareness, which I think is so essential for all of us to just be like aware of things we're doing, like whether you're cleaning your cupboard or you're eating your food or you're reading something or you're talking to someone. I feel like that was something that I think I realized in this period of lockdown. And I also realized the value of you know, how having family around can be such a huge support in these times, because whatever said and done, it's emotionally a lot to process, because you're just at home and you don't get to go down and you don't get to go out. But I still think it's the most intelligent thing that our government did, because I don't think we could have, our healthcare system couldn't have handled things going beyond what it already is, which is a lot anyway. And I think the timely lockdown actually has contained a lot of you know, a lot of destruction. So I think it's in that sense it's good. And I think whatever time it takes, I think we all have to stick it out, because I can't imagine it any other way.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, you're very right about that. I like that you brought up that point. You know, the healthcare system right now cannot manage it anymore. There's no place in hospitals. Things have gotten really bad. So I think the lockdown really helps people on the front line as well. And it just prevents other people. You know, a lot of people who are getting sick can't even get basic treatments right now. It's not because the doctors don't want to work. It's because they're so busy. So I think we can support our own states by staying at home and, you know, observing the rules which are laid down in our best interest. So I have a question for you over here. Someone's asked, about your hair. People want to know what you do for your hair. So 2 or 3 tips how Tamanna maintains her amazing hair.
You know, for me right now, I have, if you can believe me, I have just let go. And I haven't done anything to myself except for, I think the problem, and I've seen this happen even on my account. In fact, I was about to look at some of the questions that came my way. And I've realized that everybody wants to know to get good hair, good skin. Everybody wants to know that. But the point is everyone willing to do what it takes? Luke, are you with me?
I'm with you. I am.
Can you?
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I can hear you. Yeah.
Right. I think the thing is, there are the basic, it all kind of boils down to let food be thy medicine, because I think it all starts with the nutrition. It starts with us eating right. And then thereafter, everything else which is external everything helps to some extent, but the external things can only help marginally. I don't think anything external can really be can really bring about a sustainable change. So what I noticed is when I apart from the food I was eating, the addition of supplements, just using what supplements are good for you,
Right.
basic supplements. Because right now, if
Correct.
you're looking at the present situation, it's all boiled down to immunity, right? We're all talking
Correct.
about immunity, which none of us were kind of prepared for. Like, we were thinking more about, okay, if something goes wrong, let's have a medicine for it. But nobody actually thought of the precaution part of it. And the precaution in
Very true.
today's time and age is just having a great immunity.
Yeah.
So I think for me, in terms of hair, I have actually, I've always, like, growing up, I think I always opted for more natural stuff. I never kind of try to do anything that's, you know, that's artificial, because I feel
Artificial.
like that's not sustainable. So
Absolutely.
the good old coconut oil, I think and especially because it's really hot right now,
Yeah.
and just using stuff that cools your system down internally as well as externally. Onion juice again is something that
Yeah, that's
is
powerful.
really cooling, um, and it's good for you, good for your hair. Um, so yeah, these are things I've done, and they're so basic. Like, when people want to know, I'm like, what do I tell you? Because I don't. The thing is, the way to do it is not to do things to yourself. Because the more we kind of try to fiddle with stuff and try to correct it, I think it just kind of, it only causes stress. I don't think it actually addresses most of the issues.
I appreciate what you said. I mean, that's real honesty out there. You said you just let go. And sometimes our bodies just do the right things. Like you rightly
Yeah.
said, everyone usually tries to give an answer of what they do and 10 different things and 15 different things. But
Yeah.
I really appreciate your honest answer. You let go, you eat right, you do the basics, and your body gives you what it's designed to give you, which is good hair. I think a lot of people make their lives too complicated trying to fix a small problem, but they miss the basics of what the human body requires. I appreciate that answer. Have you got any questions that came up from your side? I'm looking at a
Yes, I
couple of
do
questions.
actually. I'm just going to
A lot
throw
of
them
people
at
want to know what your next movie is going to be and all of that stuff, but I'm not going to ask you that question right now.
you.
Yeah.
I'm using my mother's phone to read the questions because my phone is here. Mm. So I think the good old question is being asked by being Akshay Kumar. That's the name of the account.
Okay.
The person's asking, immune system kaise better kare? Because that's our, like, the hot
Right.
question of the season.
Absolutely. So I think it's really simple if people are eating their basic food. Like I said, if you're eating a basic Indian diet, okay, let's look at a basic Indian diet. There would be like khichdi, vegetable, dal, rice. That itself has turmeric, it's got different spices. That is great for immunity. Ginger, garlic, onion, turmeric, all the Indian spices. The Indian garam masala itself is an immunity booster because all of those spices have scientifically been proven to boost. Now, if you look at our local fruits right now, mangoes, great immunity booster. Coconut water, coconut, great immunity booster. Pineapples, watermelon. These are the seasonal fruits that are growing right now. And we have the Indian amla, the Indian gooseberry. That is so rich in vitamin C. It has more vitamin C sometimes than pharmaceutical vitamin C. So if people just eat basic food that we've grown up eating the right way. Right now, I'm not worried about people eating outside food because there are no restaurants open. So everyone's doing home food, and that itself is good for immunity because your mums and everyone cooks food with love in India. I think that's a big differentiating factor. The amount of energy that's put into food. Then we have our green leafy vegetables. We have your rajma, your chana. You can't go wrong with this. Pure ghee is an immunity booster. Pure coconut oil is an immunity booster.
Yeah.
So depending on the states that people live in, like, as you go further up north, you have mustard oil, then you have coconut oil towards the south. Try to use cold pressed oils because that's quality oil. Refined oil isn't good for us. We should try to use the wood pressed, the original oils. And if we can keep sugar away from our diets, minimum once in a way, we're going to have strong immune systems. But over and above food, it's also sleep, as you know. If you have sleep deprivation, your immune system is going to be right down. And if you have too much of stress as well and you're not working out, at least 30 minutes of workout a day is what the body requires to at least maintain a strong immune system. So, Tamanna, a lot of people don't have to spend money on immunity. If they do the basics, day, have a strong system already. If you're binging on alcohol, smoking too many cigarettes, not sleeping well at night, constantly stressed out, these are things that break down the immune system. So we got to keep it really simple.
Right. I'm just gonna ask you some more. So yeah, I think again this I'm sure is a very common question asked to you. Which foods increases our metabolism and burns fat in the body? Uh, this is V Mithun double K15. This is the account that asks.
So there are no magic foods. There are no magic foods. There are certain foods that can boost your metabolism, but without exercise and without good sleep at night, these foods will not work. So there are a lot of high metabolic foods. You have like black coffee. This can boost your metabolism. You have coconut oil. You have pure ghee. You have nuts like almonds, cashew nuts, peanuts. You have chana, the Indian chana, roasted chana. You have sweet potato. These are all metabolism boosting foods. Even black tea. Black tea is a metabolism booster. But a lot of people, including green tea, but a lot of people just think if they have these foods, their metabolism will boost. But they have to do the right amount of exercise with the right amount of sleep, and then these foods work better. There are no magic foods that exist in the world at all. There are good foods that work together with good lifestyle, and that in turn helps us to lose weight.
So what you're saying is these foods have a certain amount of fat burning properties, but the only thing is
Right.
it works in a combination. It doesn't work in
Absolutely. Yeah,
isolation.
absolutely.
Okay, noted. So again, a very important question, and I think I struggled with it initially during the lockdown, is how to balance sleep in this period of quarantine, because a lot of us are either sleeping very little or we are oversleeping. So I
Right.
also feel like oversleeping is as bad as. Uh,
Absolutely. Yeah.
so how does one deal with that, and is there any uh,
Mm-hmm.
methods that one can use to regularize their sleep?
So it's simple. I always tell people at least Monday to Friday, try to go to sleep at the same time every day, irrespective. Set your bedtime and get into bed. You want to be awake late on Saturday night to watch a movie or Friday night and all of that stuff. You can do that. But even if you sleep at, say, set your sleep time at 10 o'clock or 10:30 every night, you still have, if you organize your time, you are able to do everything in a day. When most people don't know how to organize their time. They have something called time wasters in their day. They start off with something, they get distracted, they start reading something on social media, and it moves on from one thing to another, and they realize 1 or 2 hours has just gone mindlessly on social media. My whole point is you should be able to have a good 7 to 8 hours of deep sleep kept aside for you. Then you have your work hours, you have your meal hours, your exercise time, and over and above that, you have 3 to 4 hours of extra time. You can use that to consume Netflix, content, do whatever. I think if people plan their days really well, they find out that they have a lot of time. When we don't plan our days, our sleep keeps changing every single day. But I really think if we put in the discipline of, be it 9:30, 10, 10:30, 11, 11:30, whatever time you want to sleep at night, fix it. And Monday to Friday, get into bed at the same time. So your body starts working according to a rhythm and a clock. And after a while, you get so used to it that you won't compromise your sleep. And set an alarm if you're oversleeping, because oversleeping isn't good for us. Maximum 7 to 8 hours of deep sleep is good. When we oversleep, that's not good for us. It's not good for our weight. It's not good for our heart. So then set an alarm if you feel, or like if I wake up because I know I have a client call, okay, I have a purpose to wake up to. If you don't have a purpose to wake up to, it's difficult. So set a purpose, like you're going to go and make breakfast, or you're going to go and work out, you're going to do a yoga class. So when there's a purpose in the mind, automatically you don't want sleep, you want sleep longer and longer because your subconscious mind knows you need to wake up to something. So I think
Yeah.
these are the simplest tips: organizing your time and fixing your bedtime. That solves most people's problems.
I mean, this question is not really here, but I would want to ask you,
Sure.
considering it's summer and we are not actually spending that much time outside, how does one keep your system cool, and how do you deal with summer? And also, we will be very soon getting into monsoon. So, what do we
Yeah.
do to keep, balance in our system? Are
Okay.
there foods that we could eat that help?
Great. So that's a great question. So in summer, if we notice, there are fruits that grow and vegetables. These are automatically cooling. These are automatically cooling foods. So if we eat these foods right now, during summer, we already keep cooling. If I start eating a lot of junk food, I'm going to create heat in my body. So I can have mangoes, every vegetable that grows locally, every fruit, there's watermelon, there's pineapple. Certain fruits don't grow in the season. We shouldn't be eating them, even though they're available, because they're not seasonal.
Yeah.
Every fruit decides the body temperature, according to, the weather outside. We have coconut water, which is a summer cooler. You have your normal lemon water. Just take a nimbu, make a glass of nimbu pani, put a little bit of salt in. It's a great, great drink. We got to stay away from heavy foods right now because heavy foods create more heat and we have lighter foods. So today I posted a lunch picture of just curd and rice. I learned this from South India. I think it's the most amazing food ever. Just curd rice with some, deep fried curry leaves on the top and just have some protein with it. And it's a complete meal. You don't feel heavy. You feel light. And I think you got to stay hydrated. The more water you have, the better. A lot of people are very dehydrated, so their bodies heat up. So if they're able to do this, it's absolutely fine. Even the clothing that we wear, a lot of people today wear synthetic clothing. They should be wearing normal cotton clothing at home. When we go out, all the clothes we wear is very synthetic. It doesn't allow your skin to breathe. But in summer, we need pure cotton because it allows us to set our body temperature as well. So it's the simplest things to follow the ways of nature. What nature gives you in summer is what we should be eating. As the weather changes and the monsoon starts, we'll find more difference in vegetables and fruits. That should become part of our diet because that's helping us with more immunity, temperatures lesser. So if we follow the laws of nature, most people can let go, like you said. Just follow the laws of nature. Your body will look after you in most cases. When we do unnatural things, then we need to do so many complicated things to get our health back into order.
Back.
Keep it simple. Yeah.
I absolutely agree. Also, of course, mango is the fruit of the season, and it's quite unfortunate that a lot of people think that mangoes are very are bad for you because they are high in calorie. Some even think it makes them fat, and so does, I think, banana is another famous fruit. But I've been on our plan so many times, and I've actually eaten this, and it's been great for me. Can you teach people, or rather give an advice as to how they should be consuming these foods, and why the myth, and can you bust it by telling us how to deal with that?
Sure. So fruits never make us fat. Now, a lot of people overeat fruits and they have something called fructose malabsorption. Now, that can actually make your diabetes worse, and it can actually make you put on fat. You see people eating a big platter of fruits. If you look at the way nature's given it to you, it's given you one mango. It's given you one apple. It's given you one. When it's given us a bigger fruit like a papaya or a watermelon, it means you share it. It's like that. So fruits cannot make you fat. When you break it down nutritionally, it's 0.001% of fat. Okay, but now if you're a diabetic and you're eating too much, obviously you have glucose intolerance, that can make you put on weight. And if we eat it the wrong way, people eat fruit at midnight. People eat fruit in the night, late night. That's a simple carb. It gives you a lot of energy. If you're not expending the energy, it gets stored as fat. So we want to eat fruits on an empty stomach earlier in the day, before sunset, finish our fruits, and enjoy the fruits that nature's given you locally. They cannot make you sick. Of course, there are good fruits and bad fruits. A lot of fruits in the market are spurious. People inject them with sugar, with color. There are carbide ripening and all of that stuff. That's why we should support our local farmers. And when we start taking from our local farmers, we get real food. When there's a middleman who comes in between, we get all of the rubbish in the market. So there is good fruit and bad fruit at the same time. But fruits cannot make you fat. Very few people in our life, we have to stop them from fruit because they have a problem with the liver. Some of them have fatty livers, or they have a gut issue where they can't absorb fructose. So that's the only thing. The law of fruits, enjoy about 2 to 3 fruits in a day, even 2 fruits a day, even 1 fruit a day is great for you. But keep it seasonal, local, best digested on an empty stomach.
Also look for people like me who've been sometimes awake at night. What is so if one has to eat something, one is hungry in the middle of the night, what should you eat? Because if you don't want to eat the wrong stuff, because we all want to go out for the maybe something sugary, maybe something salty. So that's when all the wrong stuff happens. So what would we eat if we happen to be awake and if we are craving food?
So I think one of the best things we can do, I'll give you two. It's a handful of nuts, may sound a little bit boring, or popcorn, homemade popcorn. All of us love popcorn, not the microwave popcorn. That's like poison. But you get popcorn kernels, you put in a pressure cooker, add a little bit of turmeric salt, so you're getting salt, a little spice. That is the best midnight snack you can have. It's fiber, it's good for you, it'll fill you up, and it'll make you happy. So I think that's something great if you're watching a movie at night or a handful of nuts. But I think once a lot of people get into the system of fasting, after about 3 to 4 days, you don't feel hungry anymore in the night. Even if you want to eat, you just don't feel hungry. So it's a rhythm of the body. But if you must, I would really suggest popcorn to people. And kernels are available all over the country in the markets. Buy them, put them in a pressure cooker. You can roast them in a little bit of ghee, turmeric, salt, and it's a